Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to install and use the Arduino IDE. The IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. And those are software programs that help people write computer code and convert that code into a software application. So there'll be IDEs for developing iPhone apps, for Android apps, and in this particular case, we're using one that'll allow us to develop and write code on our laptop, and then convert that IDE. We will convert that into a form that can be used by the Arduino Uno, the piece of hardware we're using. So let's go ahead and install it. And obviously I'm installing it on a Mac, but it'll be quite similar if you're installing it on a Linux machine or on a Windows machine. And let me just go to Arduino. And there's the software tab. I'm going to click on that. And I can download the Arduino IDE, again, Integrated Development Environment. And here we have some options. I'll go with the Mac one, obviously. And here they're asking for money. You can just say just download here. Okay, the download is done, so let me open that. All right, so let me make this a bit bigger and cancel that now. All right, and in setup, we put the setup code, it says, just runs once. So every time we turn on the Arduino, this code, the code we put in setup, will run exactly once. And what we want to do there is say we have an LED connected to pin 13, which is what my hardware is set for. And to do that, I say pen mode, and then the pen number, 13, and then LED is an output, so I'm going to smart output. So that's the syntax. So I'm saying pen 13 here is an output pen. It's going to turn on a light. An input pen would be something like a button, so we can detect a button press. So that's all we have to do is set up to connect one LED to our code. And now loop, the other requirement. So we have two required procedures. One is called setup, which runs exactly once, and one called loop, which runs over and over. And as long as we're supplying power to the Arduino, that code is executing. And to turn on an LED, we use digital write. So we're going to send some voltage to pin 13. We're going to turn it high, turn on the voltage. You can see that every line of my code ends with a semicolon. That's just the syntax we use for this programming language. It's common in many other languages as well. It's not unique to the Arduino Uno programming language. After I turn on that LED, I'm going to wait a little bit. Let's wait a half a second. And then let's turn off the LED. So that's the same. It's digital write. We're connected to pin 13, so that LED is connected to pin 13. Low means turn off that voltage. We're going to do that. And then we'll delay another 500 milliseconds. So each second, or these are milliseconds, that's thousandths of seconds. This is a half a second on and a half a second off. So to load that code, I go upload here, this arrow, and it asks me to save the sketch. Now, it does it by date, and that's a very bad name for a sketch. And let's change that to, let's call it blink, or blink 1 LED. And let's save that in a good spot. So let's say I'm going to create a new folder for the class called Arduino course. And blink 1 LED, I'll stick it in Arduino course. And it's uploading that code to the Arduino, and there's an error. Let's see what that error is. So under tools here, I can see what port I'm using. It's connected to the Arduino Uno. The port is how I'm connecting the Arduino Uno to the computer, to my laptop, and I didn't select it. So what I need to do is say I'm using this USB connected to the Arduino Uno. So let's go ahead and do that. And it uploaded fine, and indeed it is blinking. So again, what you need to do if it fails like that is go under Tools menu, make sure the board you select is Arduino Uno, and the port is actually a good port, not something like Bluetooth incoming port, but USB modem, or it'll be different names depending on if you're using Windows or Mac, but it should say Arduino Uno there. Let's say I want it to be blinking faster. I could just put 200 milliseconds, 1/5 of a second on and 1/5 off, and upload that. Let's say I have two LEDs, one on pin 13 and one on pin 5, so I can just add that this way. Pin mode, I have an LED on 5. It's also output, so it's an output to an LED. And let's say I want them to blink at the same time, so I can go digital right, 5 high, so that turns 13 on and 5 on. I'll wait that 200 milliseconds, then I'll shut off 13, and I'll also turn off the LED connected to pin 5. And upload that. So that's the basic idea of the Arduino Uno IDE. You can see it's relatively straightforward. So what I did was you can go under here and create a new sketch. There's two procedures: setup, which runs exactly once, and loop, which runs over and over and over again. And we put the code as I've shown. So setup things has like pin mode, where we're setting whether it's an input pin or an output pin, what did you connect to the Arduino, and loop is the actual instructions that you want to execute of turning on the LED and turning off the LED in this simple example. So that's all I wanted to show you. I hope this was helpful. Take care. Bye.